That's dramatic.
Another personal victory.
Ahai, hero of Amnoon. I am First Spear Hakima of the Istani Sun Spears.
You know who I am?
Every Sun Spear knows who you are. And I believe we have some common interests. Joko's hold on Istan has weakened in his absence. Some of us here even dare to dream of a new era.
I left Joko rotting in a cage in the domain of the lost. Should definitely make for smoother sailing.
You would think. But the number of awakened grows. They're retaking towns we freed, including Champion's Dawn. And someone claiming to be Joko is offering rewards for the heads of his enemies. Especially yours.
So I hear. I'll tread carefully. To that end, I'm here to ask if you can get me into Farinor.
Oh. I'm afraid not. Only our leader knows the way. Spear Marshal Zaim guards that secret with his life. He rode south to retake Champion's Dawn from the Awakened. The priest there, Sazir, usually knows where he is.
Then that's where I'm headed. Sweet, sweet loot.
The Sun Spears are an ancient order. Honorable protectors from brighter years in Alona's history. Most of my brothers and sisters were awakened and forced to serve Joko. You know them now as the Mordant Crescent. A few survived, in hiding. Recruiting to sustain the order across the generations in hopes they might one day rise against Joko. Zaim has become the Spear Marshal of these Sun Spears. We serve his vision of an Istan free from Joko's grasp. Zaim was trained by a Sun Spear named Ketur, until word of Istan's plight reached his ears. When Balthazar attacked the mainland, things got worse in Istan. Much worse. Istan was Zaim's home, and despite his mentor's protests, he could not sit by while it burned. Zaim vowed to bring the Sun Spears out of the shadows, to once again make them a shield for the innocent and the scourge of the corrupt. I was the first he recruited, but many would follow. Eventually, we convinced him to take the title of Spear Marshal. Balthazar's campaign on the mainland caused ripples throughout the kingdom. Crops burned, trade lines disrupted, shipments to Istan that never got past Palawadan. Joko's loyalists are comprised mainly of the island's nobility, and only they are allowed to live within Palawadan, its port city. They control what comes in and what goes out. They decided food would not go out. When people objected, the Temple of Joko said those outside Palawadan's walls were disloyal and didn't deserve food. It started out as a way for the nobility to feel virtuous watching half the island starve. But it escalated. Quickly. Isner Isles had enough, and declared their independence from the rest of Istan. By then, the temple congregation had armed themselves. The Loyalists went down there, intending to make an example of the disloyal. Zaim was prepared, though. He taught us a great deal about guerrilla tactics. The Sun Spears crushed the Loyalists, sent them running all the way to the northern shore. The awakened garrison was manned by a skeleton crew, no pun intended, thanks to your liberation of the mainland forces. Nonetheless, the Mordant Crescent sent 50 Awakened to find this famous Sunspear champion and end the rebellion. We don't know how he did it, but two facts are undisputed. Those Awakened lie dead, and Zaim lives. The people started calling him the hero of Istan. It galvanized the whole island behind him.